Hey, it is Tuesday, which you know that is Monday's hangover, and this time it is big time a Monday hangover because yesterday, Monday, was Independence Day, the 4th of July. I hope everybody had a good one. You know those movies where they're in the plane that's like all jacked up and they don't know if it's going to work? Hey, the new Top Gun. You remember when they go in there? Well, I don't want to give away a spoiler, but there's one part where they're flying a plane. They're not sure if the thing's going to work or not, and it just barely ekes up and it gets up and it's up in the sky. That's the way the show is today, with Chance the Soulless Ginger at the helm over here. I want you to take credit for it. My God in heaven. You know the equipment that it's not your guys' fault. It's not y'all's fault they gave us equipment that Glenn Beck used in 1989. That's what we're using. These are bargain basement television equipment in here that we're trying to record this show with. So normally you got the Puppet Master Mark in here with his duct tape and his pliers trying to make this thing work. But we're here. We're back. I've missed you guys. Hope you had a great weekend. Great Independence Day. Would you please start us off with the summary of economic intelligence by the one and only President Joe Biden? Play that clip.
The companies running gas stations and setting those prices at the pump. This is a time of war, global peril, Ukraine. These are not normal times. Bring down the price you are charging at the pump to reflect the cost you are paying for the product. Do it now. Do it today. Your customers, the American people, they need relief now. So let me...
There it is. Joe Biden telling the gas station owners to bring down the price at the pump to reflect what they pay for the product. That's right. And he's blaming, once again, war in Ukraine, which I don't know when we declared war or when we went to war with Russia or Ukraine or anybody else in Europe, but suddenly a European war has everything to do with us. Now, as Joe Biden continues to blame everyone, including the gas station owners, for his, he blames everything but his failed policies for these gas prices and the civil unrest. Journalists, believe it or not, have actually started taking notice, and they've started to get closer to calling it like it is. Ariel Davidson, she went so far as to call Sleepy Joe economically illiterate. That's quite descriptive, Miss Davidson, but one of those words is still unneeded. He's just plain illiterate. Now, there's a major unrest in our country right now as people are tired of feeling trampled on. From bureaucratic to medical to educational to judicial to corporate tyranny, people are tired of having boots on their neck. And American Airlines computer glitch actually allowed pilots last week to drop their scheduled flights and could possibly cause about 12,000 flight cancellations in the month of July alone. Now, if things are that bad at American Airlines, why don't the pilots just quit altogether? Now, it's pretty telling that the first time that they were allowed to pick their own days off, that they all collectively decided to leave en masse. Now, at this point, American Airlines, who knows, maybe they're going to get sold off to a third world country if they don't watch their step. But I need those planes in the air, people, those Riris out there that have taken to the streets and threatened to leave America over the Roe v. Wade decision. I need them whisking away to their newfound countries they promised to move to, and I need those planes to do it for me. Now, in very weird news, a horse heiress. Do you boys know what a horse heiress is? I want to be a horse heiress. Apparently this is an Australian chick, and I saw pictures of her. Reasonably hot. She has like this nutritional thing that whatever, but she got all of her money because her dad had these championship race horses. So she's an heiress to this. She's been charged with having sex with a 14-year-old boy 4 times in one day. In fact, the news article said that she had sex with him 4 times before 5 p.m. Now, if I remember anything about being 14 years old, I still went home that night and masturbated 3 more times before bed. Anyway, Jordan Peterson was quoted as saying he'd rather die than defend his tweet about transgender Elliot Page, the actress turned actor, I guess. It used to be Ellen Page. But he said he'd rather die than delete the tweet. Now, at least he's willing to die for something important, not something silly like a TikTok video or an Instagram story. I mean, priorities, folks. Life is precious. Choose them right. Marvel is set to introduce gay Spider-Man. Of course they are. Coming to a universe near you. That's right, gay Spider-Man. I guess it was all the spandex and the stretchy pants or whatever. But that means that Marvel is trying to tell us that Andrew Garfield, who once played Spider-Man in the movies, Wasn't supposed to be a gay Spider-Man. My bad, y'all. Completely misunderstood the plot of that movie, I guess. Transgender female skateboarder, 29-year-old, used to be dude, now identifies as a woman. If you look at the picture, still looks like a dude, just longer hair. Beat the entire field in the Border Open Women's Final Skateboard Championship. Look, enough is enough at this point. If you're going to let those people in, you just need to give them their own event. Look, if we got the X Games, then they can have the XY Games, or however that works. Speaking of letters, when are these alphabet agencies going to stop investigating every cell phone ping in person that was within a 15-mile radius of the U.S. Capitol on January 6th and start going after some domestic terrorists and people who are making threats against public online? Let's round up some crazy people and stop the nonsense like the shootings that are happening in the streets and the schools and the supermarket, just like it happened yesterday at a 4th of July parade. And if your kid looks like a freaking weirdo that won't come out of his room and won't get off the video games, maybe spend a little time asking him if he's got nefarious plans to shoot people. Be a parent. While all the eyes, by the way, guys, while all the eyes and outrage are on the horrific shooting at the 4th of July parade on the North Shores of Chicago, which was Highland Park, the real truth of Chicago gun violence is coming out yet again after another weekend of violence in America's most deadly city. 71 people were shot, 8 fatally, in the 4th of July holiday weekend shootings across the Windy City. Last year, there were 19 people that were killed and more than 100 shot, but you didn't hear about that story either. Now, in 2020, there were 79 people that were shot in Chicago. 15 of them were killed. So basically, a normal weekend for Chicago when you add in the deadly shootings at the 4th of July parade in the Chicago suburb where 26 were wounded and 6 killed. Now, it's astonishing that the Illinois governor can call for gun control, but completely not discuss that 71 people were shot and 8 dead in Chicago. But the parade, of course, is the talking point the liberals want you to focus on. Now, are you even paying attention yet, America? Because you're being played and lied to. Now, I hope that everyone was able to get a little bit of relaxation as they celebrated America's independence yesterday for the 4th of July. I'll have you know that I spent a lot of money putting Arab gas into my Japanese car to watch those Chinese projectiles from the balcony of a Mexican restaurant where my Vietnamese girlfriend likes to eat. Happy Independence Day, America. Funny how there's a supply chain shortage, but the fireworks got here in perfect time, not one single delay. And yes, no matter what you say online these days, apparently it is in vogue for Americans to hate America and call those of you with conservative traditional values crazy. But remember, folks, being called crazy by those that are victims of cultural conditioning is a compliment. Guys, I hope y'all had a great 4th of July. Show of hands, anybody get drunk at all over there? Okay, Brandon. Let's love Brandon. He admits to it. This clip, though, that we started out with, Joe Biden telling people to start, the gas station owners need to lower their prices. I think, and you guys can send me a message and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking they only make like 3 or 4 cents a gallon profit off of what they're selling there. Most of these gas stations, they don't make money. They make off the gas per se. They make the money off of the stuff they're selling inside the store. And it seems like I had a story on that deal right there, but maybe I don't. But when it comes to leftist ideology and economy, it's not going to work out so well, folks. Just for instance, California residents are going to receive a stimulus check to help offset inflation. That's right. I don't know if you guys understand just basic economy, but when you're creating more debt in order to bring the inflation down, it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But Governor Gavin Newsom signed the $17 billion stimulus bill that supporters hope will provide much-needed inflation relief across the state. That's like last 4th of July when they said that they were basically saving you 16 cents on your holiday picnic. And this year, God, it's through the absolute roof. But they can lie to you and tell you that the government's here to help and they're taking care of you. But trust me when I tell you they're not. Where is Chris Cruz today? Who's got a microphone over there? Where did he go back home? Did he get on an American Airlines flight that got canceled? What happened?
It's entirely possible. I don't know where Chris went. Did he give anybody? He might have just left.
Does anybody ever know where Chris Cruz goes? I mean, he was on vacation, I think, last week or the week before.
He did. Yeah,
and I don't even know if he goes anywhere. I think he just decides he wants to have a staycation and stay at home.
I've spoiled him. My presence here has spoiled him.
See, that's what happens. Brandon came along, and suddenly Chris decided to, well, I won't say he decided to get lazy. I'm reasonably certain from looking at him that he's been there for a minute. Dave Rubin, our buddy Dave Rubin, host of the Rubin Report, they suspended him on Twitter. I was driving this morning, and I was driving and perusing the news. And he got suspended on Twitter for sharing a screenshot of Jordan Peterson's tweet, which, of course, got him suspended from Twitter. But, again, this was about the Elliot Page, formerly known as Ellen Page. And I read Dave's tweet, who said he was put in Twitter jail for posting the screenshot of Jordan Peterson's tweet. Got him suspended. He said, while it's unclear how I broke their terms of service, it is clear they're breaking their fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders by letting a bunch of woke activists run the company. We know that. I hope Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter goes through so he can blow up their servers and humanity can move past this pervasive, twisted, self-imposed mental institution. Of course, I don't even want to go too in this whole thing, but Peterson, he shared the article about the new Netflix show that Elliot Page is doing, and he wrote, "Remember when pride is a sin, and Ellen Page just had her breasts removed by a criminal person." Who knows? That'll probably get us flagged for even talking about it. But at this stage in the game, do I even care? Maybe. Let's do this. Let's see how provocative we could be, Brandon, this week. And maybe we'll get suspended and we can go on vacation. This is a plan for July. I'm liking this. I mean, can't do anything.
Well, with my track record, you might not have a show by next week.
Yeah, I'm real good at closing businesses down. I've been real faithful to do that over the years. In fact, I used to have friends of mine who said, you know what, if you're really tired of your work in your business, just let Chad come in and run it, and in 12 months it'll be non-existent. You won't have a problem. I'm good at the downward growth spiral model of business. But I'm at the point now, guys, where I'm just like, you know what, let's just piss them all off. And I figure, hey, look, God's probably mad at me. You might as well be mad at me too. Here was the deal. So Biden, this is what I was looking for a minute ago. Biden's blaming the gas stations for high gas prices. And he was taken to task. Even Jeff Bezos was critical of Biden because he's just finding all these scapegoats. Chinese state media applauded Biden for realizing that capitalism is all about exploitation. You got to love it when the communist Chinese government starts calling you out. I mean, they're just trolling the guy at this point. So just 2 weeks ago, Biden demanded oil companies lower their gas prices. And so he doubled down on it with that clip that we played you. And again, according to the National Association of Convenience Stores, did y'all know there was a National Association of Convenience Stores? We got to get ourselves a national association. I'm thinking of weird names right now in my head. I don't want to say them out loud. National Association of Ass Men. That's a good one. Anyway, according to the National Association of Convenience Stores, only about 1%, 0.1% of the fueling outlets in the country are owned by a major oil company. They reported that 62% of U.S. gas stations are owned by an individual or family who only operate a single retail gas location. And by the way, let me be politically incorrect and remind you that most of those people are immigrants and brown people. So Joe Biden is being racist by telling the immigrant he's trying to keep the brown man down. Lower your gas prices. Apu? Wasn't that his name? In The Simpsons, Apu? So, okay, here it is. I'm corrected. I'm going to stand corrected. Gas stations make a 10 to 15 cent profit on a gallon of gas. So basically 2 to 3 times what I said earlier. But Jeff Bezos, he denigrated Biden and his administration for pointing the finger at energy companies for high gas prices. He says, ouch, inflation is far too important a problem for the White House to keep making statements like this. It's either straight ahead misdirection or deep misunderstanding of basic market dynamics. Well, I think we can chalk it up to both of those things. Anyway, When it comes to Joe Biden, folks, I hope you all have election remorse at this point. What are we selling? We got to sell something. Let me get my list here. It must be. Oh, you know what? A couple weeks ago, my buddy Zach, that has Trucker Treats, came to our show in Shawnee, Oklahoma, got to hang out with him and had a blast. You've heard me talk about Trucker Treats. These are incredible gourmet pretzels that benefit the trucking industry. Before they were even a sponsor, I was eating these things. Trucker Treats is like the nation's best seasoned gourmet pretzel company. 100% made in America. All the seasonings, the ingredients, even the packagings, the bags, the marketing, all of it. And they're really good pretzels. Trucker Treats is a family business. Zach himself is a trucker, and they're customer-centered. They're providing personalized service and the highest quality products. They've developed 6 incredibly mouth-watering flavors to choose from: the Cool Ranch, the Hot Cajun, the Cinnamon Toast, the Dill Pickle Bacon Cheeseburger, which right now is my current favorite, the seasonal product, the Candy Cane. If you call them, I bet you they'll send you some. There's a flavor or two for you that you're going to love with new flavors on the horizon. I'm urging you to support them. Go to truckertreats.net. Get 40% off when you use promo code CHAD. I spell it Chad. That's truckertreats.net. Use promo code Chad. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade with the Dobbs decision late last month, there was a whole lot of high-profile global companies that promised funds for employees and their dependents to seek abortion in other states. They just said, basically, we'll pay to fly you there, we'll pay for the procedure, all these things. And, all these woke companies started popping on and adding their name to the list about making sure these babies get killed. But there was another company based out of one of our neighboring communities, Southlake, Texas, Buffer Insurance. They had another plan, and the founder and owner of Buffer, Sean Turner, is in the hot seat hanging out with me. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Chad.
What did you guys decide to do?
Yeah, so we actually saw it was Dick's Sporting Goods along with all these other woke companies, these large corporations, and they were coming out just saying, hey, go have a weekend abortion, come back to the office on Monday, we'll pay $4,000. And we thought, surely there's got to be another alternative solution. Yeah. And so we just came up with the simple, hey, we're going to offer to pay for our employees to have babies. We're going to, if you want to expand your family through adoption, we're going to put funds towards that. And then we're also going to give you time off. We're going to give you time to spend with that newborn, whether you're a female employee or even the father. And so we have paternity leave, not because we believe men can get pregnant, but because we believe supporting fathers with their young ones.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
See, there's so many options out there that people don't want to talk about. We had Jackie Daly on last week. She was talking about, she said, people say, well, you can either, have a baby or have an abortion or blah, 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 and all these things. She said, or you could, even if it's premature and there's a problem, you could have a C-section and actually deliver. I mean, there's so many of these options that are out there but you hear the narrative and it's like, oh, I've got to figure out a way to get my abortion. You're providing a solution for people to actually be supported in having their baby.
Yeah, we want to make it easy to have and grow your family. And so a lot of companies have made it easy for them to get rid of their baby, because really that's kind of in their best interest, because you're not out for 6 to 12 weeks doing maternity leave. You're out for a weekend and then you come back, and we just believe that even though it's more expensive, the best benefit that we could provide is making it easy to have the baby, because in the long-term interest of our employees, it's going to be better for their health and happiness.
Yeah, last week I posted a tweet where I said these companies, they realize it's cheaper to pay for your abortion than it is to pay you for maternity leave.
Yeah.
So they're not stupid in that regard. Economically, they're appearing woke, but they're happy to fund your baby killing spree. I mean, you jump on an airplane and go to Hawaii once a month, just keep getting pregnant and going to have, and have a company paid vacation. Yeah, you got to have a little medical procedure while you're there.
Yeah.
Have you gotten any pushback on this?
We've had a swelling support of thousands. Our email, our phone system, our social media is exploding because people love what we're doing. And our goal is to really activate small and medium-sized businesses, because it's hard for them to implement maternity leave. You have to maybe plan months in advance because there's less employees to spread that workload versus at a large corporation. There's redundancy in employees. And so it's easy for them to spread out that load. So.
Yeah. Sean walked in today, and when we met, he had his sport coat and his button-up shirt and everything, and I was like, you can change into that if you want to and look like an insurance guy, or you could just stay the way you are and relax, and I'm glad you chilled. But I want, like right now, everybody's going, what's the name of this company? Buffer Insurance in South Lake, Texas. I hope your phone lines light up after people watch this episode.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
And emails come pouring in, and people are moving their policies over to you. I'm not kidding on this stuff, and this is not an endorsement. You didn't pay me to come on the show. We heard about your story, and I was like, we got to talk to Sean.
Yeah.
And so I hope your business explodes because of this. I mean, I'm talking selfishly. I just hope that it just explodes because of this.
Yeah.
I want it to, because this is the type of parallel economy type stuff that I think is where we've got to go. Of people saying, no, we're going to put our money where our mouth is.
Yeah.
And we're going to support what our convictions are. Yeah. You're a veteran.
Yes.
Army guy.
Yep. I
don't trust those Army guys. They steal your women. The Navy guys I don't worry about because they're a little funny. But you have those convictions, those values that kind of drive that. How long you guys been in business?
Only 4 years. And so to your point, though, we tell people you can vote at the ballot box, but sometimes it's more impactful to vote with your dollars. And
100%.
So we would love for our business to explode. We might have new problems because of that. You know?
And hey, listen, they keep pissing me off around here. Maybe I need to go back and get my insurance license renewed and come work for you. But you guys have an offering of insurance. But one of the things that you guys are doing are helping, as you alluded to, you're helping other companies do this.
Yeah. So we have all the resources for other companies to take what we've done and implement it in their own business. And so we have the employer handbook policies that will help dictate what this looks like and how they reimburse it. But then we have paired with that strategies to either implement either insurance or through tax savings, because no one likes paying taxes. You don't want to, if you say, hey, I want to pay for Miss Susie's birth, to drop $5,000 and then have to pay taxes on top of that. And then when she receives that, pay even more taxes. And so you're really minimizing your gift without looking at these strategies first.
Dude, that's an amazing concept. Oh, and I have to clarify, nobody at the Blaze is pissing me off. Stuberg here, he's a little edgy, but anyway, I'm perfectly happy here. People start sending messages. What's the matter? We just want Chris Cruz to get fired, but he's on vacation anyway. He's used to it. So you guys, are y'all able to like expand and reach people? I mean, you're right here in Texas. You're South Lake, Texas, which is a great affluent community. South Lake's been in the news numerous times in the last year or two over the CRT issue, and now obviously we've been talking about it on Blaze Media about what you guys are doing. Yeah. Let's talk about that, because a lot of people don't trust the election process anymore. Yeah. But being able to show your support with your dollars and grow these companies. Yeah. Instead of putting it with these huge conglomerates, these woke companies that do not share your values, how important is that? And again, I consider South Lake small town America, right? Yeah. How important is it to step up, take the risk, put your money where your mouth is, and just let the chips fall where they may? Were you worried in making this decision?
No, in fact, we only get like 20 Facebook likes, and so we didn't think anyone was ever going to see this post. But it was a huge risk on our part, because 3/4 of our team are like ready to have babies. All of them are brand new, either through marriage or just young folk. And so we said, hey, this is going to be a huge expense for us, but we at least, if someone does get pregnant now, we have at least 10 months before we got to.
Yeah. So you established this policy. Is this for anybody that gets pregnant, or is this a crisis pregnancy situation? Is there a difference in it?
So it's for any employee that gets pregnant is what it's set up now. But thankfully, with a lot of small to mid-sized companies, they can make up the policies as they go. Sure. And so, for example, our very first employee had lost her mom, and we didn't have a bereavement policy. But I thought, oh my goodness, she doesn't need to use her own PTO for this. Yeah. Let's implement that. And so I have 4 children biologically. I have 4 kids. I got a stepson as well, but I've got 4 kids. And when my wife was pregnant, when she got pregnant, I don't know how that happens. When she got pregnant with our first child, our daughter, we realized that like our health insurance policy didn't have maternity. Yeah. And so it became a thing of faith at that point in time, right? And again, we walked through that process. We were very blessed, very fortunate.
A lot of favors were given. People took care of us. But not everybody has that, right? And you just assume, well, you got insurance, you should be fine. That's not necessarily always the case.
So, personal story, I went through that same thing. We actually got pregnant with our first daughter, who's now 7. And at the time, we didn't have insurance. And so we bared the brunt 100% out-of-pocket cash baby. And then I was back to work within 48 hours after that.
Wow.
And so I thought, oh my goodness, like this should not be a common experience for our employees. And so we decided to make it easier for our employees and their families. Yeah.
Dude, I can't tell you. I mean, these are the kind of things I want people to be finding, these kind of solutions and finding businesses like yours that share the values. And I've been on your website. I've looked at it. You guys are not like parading around as some big crusade. You're an insurance company, for crying out loud. Yeah, it talks about who you are, what you offer, these kind of things. But you took a stand for this. And what is y'all's website again?
Bufferinsurance.com.
So simple, bufferinsurance.com. I went over there. Actually, if you go to Blaze Media, and you'll see the article that's written about Sean and his company and what they're doing. The link is right there in the article. The headline is Texas-based insurance company Bucks post-row trend offers to pay for birth, adoption, leave for new parents. I mean, adoption's a big deal.
Yeah.
And that's something people tend to forget about.
There may be a lot more adoptions because the lack of the ability to have an abortion now. Yeah.
See, and that's the big pushback that so many, I call them the Riris, the protesters in the street. They're saying, how many of you adopted? A lot, actually. I've fostered children, and we've set up orphanages around the world. So I love when they push back on that. But you're a company actually doing that.
Yeah.
And putting that out there. So that's awesome.
It's important for companies to set and be intentional about their culture.
Yeah.
And that those benefits that they offer should align with their culture and their values. And so that's what we've done here.
Sean Turner, S-E-A-N. You spelled it right, in my opinion.
My mom spelled it, actually.
Your mom spelled it right. There you go. Sean Turner, Buffer, B-U-F-F-E-R, insurance.com. Check them out. Thanks, dude.
Thank you so much,
And
Chad.
thanks for coming on the show. Speaking of parallel economy, my guys over at Minutemen Coffee, they're a perfect example of that. They are unapologetic in their stance and their love for this country. Proud to be one of the fastest growing coffee companies in the nation. The economy sucks right now. Food and fuel are through the roof, but Minutemen Coffee is not. Their prices for a full pound of their amazing single, original, and blended coffee. It's crazy, I know, but they're not giving into it. Minutemen has partnered with Share Life Vacations to offer you a 3-month prepaid coffee subscription with free shipping for only $95. You get 2 full pounds of amazing coffee delivered to your door for 3 months, and Minutemen Coffee will send you a $100 hotel voucher good for over 700,000 locations worldwide with no strings attached. So $95 gets you 3 months of coffee and $100 towards a hotel. You can't beat that. So find out for yourself. Go to MinutemenCoffee.com. Get your order today. Use code CHAD, I spell it, Chad, for 15% off your first order, or sign up for your 3-month coffee subscriptions. Get $100 towards your next hotel stay. Hell, that's a full tank of gas. Go to MinutemenCoffee.com. That's MinutemenCoffee.com, and we'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. Let me tug on your heartstrings just a little bit. I want to take an opportunity to share something with you. Maybe you've seen it because this clip has gone viral in the last week. But I think it's necessary to keep it on the forefront of your mind and consider the message, because the further back in the distance a necessary hardship is, the harder it is for a society to fix it in the front of their minds as a thing to be honored and respected. The old story goes, a young man ascends the mountain to sit at the feet of the old sage and absorb his wisdom. Well, sometimes that wisdom comes out less in words than emotions. Imagine a 100-year-old veteran of the Second World War being emotionally distraught about the state of our country. What must it take to drive a man like that to tears? Well, let's take a look and see.
I don't know. I've lived a good life. I mean, I've had a lot of happiness, smiling, telling everybody that everything was beautiful every day. If I went into my church and didn't say everything was beautiful, they'd think I was sick. And I'm not that way. I mean, I sincerely believe in this old world that everything is beautiful. I mean, if I wake up in the morning and see these plants out here and all those flowers that are in there and the green grass on the ground, that's beautiful. And people don't realize what they have. They bitch about it. They do. And then nowadays, I am so upset that the things we did and the things we fought for and the boys that died for it, it's all gone down the drain. Our country's gone to hell in a handbasket. We haven't got the country we had when I was raised. Not at all. Nobody will have the fun I had. Nobody will have the opportunity I had. It's just not the same. And that's not what our boys, that's not what they died for. It's just not it. Darling, I'm so sorry. I'll be all right. Just takes me time to get over it. Why me? See, sitting here like this, see, all this going on. Listen, it's just, Emily, it's just not the same. That isn't what we fought for. Oh well. I should be worried about it, I guess. I'm 100 years old, they say.
It wasn't what we fought for. You know, the phrase freedom isn't free. Everybody from country singers to bumper sticker manufacturers have made sure we know it for a couple of decades now. But the truth is, it's simply the truth. Here's my idea. How about we don't let what this man did, what so many others did, go to waste? How about that? We've gone a good step these past couple of months towards taking our country back in many, many ways. Let's not give up now when we've only begun to storm the beaches to return liberty to a dying country. Folks, I want to remind you, it is our country. Well, I love the honesty of old people, that's for sure. They got no reason to lie to you, so they just come out and tell it the way it is, and certainly do love that video and the honesty and the vulnerability that's in it. Instead, you could be listened to the powerful words of sleepy Joe Biden or the stuttering repetition and redundancy of Kamala Harris or AOC. I mean, my God, she's inspiring. In fact, do we have that clip ready to go? Let's be inspired. Now, I want you to compare what this old veteran had to say to America versus AOC and her solutions. Play it.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. And I say happy because joy, too, can be an act of resistance. I want to talk about personal acts of reclamation because sometimes people will say, there's nothing I can do, I can't do, I feel so powerless. And there is no act too small that you can engage in. And even today, I have a personal errand. I need to redo my nails. And I've decided that I'm going to use my new manicure as almost like a personal act of reclamation for me and my story.
Her personal act of reclamation for her and her story. That's right. She's so victimized. She's going to choose joy. And in order to demonstrate that, she's going to use her manicure, folks. That's right. She got her nails done. And now she wants you to know she's using that as an act of reclaiming her freedom and her liberty. That's her sign. So, folks, if you think this fight we're in for values and the things that we have traditionally believed in as our rights and our liberties and our freedom, if you think that this fight is being lost, I want you to remember you're up against somebody who's using their paint on their nails to determine their philosophy of life and how they're going to fight back against you. They want to kill their babies. They want to stuff the ballot boxes. They want to confuse their genders. They want to get pissed off if you happen to hold the door open for somebody at the wrong time. If you use a wrong pronoun, they lose their mind. And as an act of reclamation of her time, AOC wants you to know that she's getting a manicure. Folks, we're up against idiots, absolute morons. And you know what? You don't have to be a scholar. You don't have to be well-read to understand that common sense has been lost in the culture of today. You give me to that frail old man. You give me that 100-year-old veteran in that uniform just talking about the green grass and the flowers out front. You give me that 100 times over any AOC and her manicure and her personal reclamation of her whatever. Folks, we're living in an age where stupidity is reigning. Common sense is gone. Insanity is running the streets. The crazy people are sitting in office. They're determining your future. I mean, for crying out loud, you know what I shopped for the other day, boys? I bought a bottle of iodine. You know why? Because I don't trust Joe Biden not to launch nuclear missiles at this point in time.
You getting ready for the nuclear fallout?
Yes! Radioactive fallout. Buy iodine. Jump on Amazon and buy you a bottle for $12. You might as well have it anyway. You're not getting enough of that or selenium in your diet anyway. So get you some of that. Dude, I'm telling you, we're living in a day and age where morons are running everything. And people will they'll fight for anything. They're so deceived. I mean, you want to talk about Vladimir Zelensky in Ukraine, and he's doing what? Talking to, what's the puppet actor, the goofy bastard, Ben Stiller?
Yeah,
goes
Ben
over
Stiller.
there. Tell me what effing purpose Ben Stiller meeting with Vladimir Zelensky had to do with anything on the global scale. Is he promoting, has he got a new movie? Did he need a camera op? Did he need some kind of publicity? What the hell are we talking about? Two comedians talking to each other, and that's supposed to be some major deal? Oh, wow. I'm so glad that everything, the inflation that Joe Biden is so illiterately wrong about is being, blamed on Ukraine, and that guy over there is meeting with Ben Stiller. Insanity, folks. Go get your nails did, honey. Go get your nails did. Yeah, we want women's power. We want women's equality. We want all this opportunity and all this kind of stuff where we're just one big homogenized piece of the human race. But yes, you know what? Her sign of power is getting her freaking nails done. I like that old man. Hey, right now, court packing is a real danger to our democracy. Make no mistake, court packing is a coup. And the usual suspects, Biden, Pelosi, Schumer, they're working overtime on new radical plans to pack the Supreme Court. If you don't stop them, if we don't stop them from installing 4 more justices so they can rig the system in their favor, it's going to be catastrophic for our court, our country, our way of life. We can't let that happen, not on our watch. That's why we need you to join us. We're gathering a coalition of 1 million patriots to say no to court packing, no to the liberal agenda, no to the Supreme Court coup. Franklin Graham, former U.S. Attorney General Ed Meese, Dr. James Dobson, the Family Policy Alliance, the Heritage Foundation, over 400,000 people like you are already on board. Here's what I want you to do. It's very simple. I want you to go sign your name right now. Go to Supreme Coup. Coup, of course, is spelled C-O-U-P. C-O-U-P. SupremeCout.com to sign First Liberty's letter. That's SupremeCout.com. God bless you. God bless America. We'll be right back. You know what I'm going to do to reclaim my time? I'm going to go get a foot massage. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to an Asian spa at 2 a.m. and see if I can find a happy ending. That's what I'm going to do to reclaim my time, reclaim my dignity. That's what I'm going to do. And then the logic of this stuff with AOC and everything else, and it's so frustrating too, because I mean there are stuff going on. I mean, we talked about in the opening monologue how many people in Chicago get shot every weekend. And of course, my heart does go out to anybody that's ever in a situation like what happened Highland Park there, the North Shore of Chicago yesterday, the shooting, the 4th of July. And there's a guy who's a pretty liberal douchebag. He claims he's a journalist in the DFW area. He sent me a message on Twitter, and he normally loves to call me out. He loves to criticize me, all this stuff. But anyway, he sent me a thing saying that the shooter's father liked one of my tweets. He said, I'm not going to say anything about it or publicize it, but I just think you need to know this. So basically his snide way of saying, see there, you're inspiring people like this. That's stupid, all right? I'm sure a lot of people's parents like a lot of people's tweets. Again, get your kids under control, folks. Spend time with your kids. Talk to them. Make sure that they're working with everything up here. And, of course, everybody immediately blew up saying that this shooter was a Trump supporter because there's pictures of him at Trump events. Well, there was a lot of people at a lot of different Trump events. I've been at Trump events and visited with Antifa members, not visited on a friendly way. I've had conversations with them on the street. They're there. There's plenty of people at Trump rallies and these kind of things that are there. So I don't think I'm going to take that as a proof text to let me know that this shooter was a Trump supporter. And even if he was a Trump supporter, let me tell you, he's an asshole that as soon as they arrested him, should have put a camera in front of him and blown his freaking head off right there for everybody to see. You want to stop publicizing these people and stop publicizing these shooters? Let's deal with it. Blow their freaking brains out or get a rope and string them up right there. You know they're the ones who are doing it. They got the powder on their trigger finger. Bam, right there. Execute them. Let everybody see it. Now, maybe you're going to come back at me and say that that's me being full of hate and advocating for more violence. No. Or we could just put his picture all over everything, keep telling his name, and so some other psycho kid that can't come out of mom's basement is only going to do so, in a couple of weeks to do the same act again because he saw everybody else being, publicized in the way that they were. Anyway, I love how people try to come at you, man. They really try to come at you on all this kind of stuff. But it was a shocking video. I hated to see it. It's a sad deal. It should never happen anywhere. I don't care if it's in the schools, in the supermarkets, in the streets, wherever it may be. But they don't want to talk about the violence that's going on in Chicago. The only reason they're going to publicize this violence in Chicago is because this kid is apparently white. And again, the other black-on-black crime that's happening week in and week out, the murders and the violence happening in Chicago, just doesn't fit the leftist narrative now, does it? Well, I will say this real quick before we go to a TikTok. The Roe v. Wade reversal is sending young men rushing to get vasectomies. What are those dudes who can't get laid, incels? I don't know why I looked over at you guys when I asked this question. Is it? But it's incels, right? Yeah, involuntary celibate. So apparently these guys, they really think that these Riris are going to screw them if they go out there and just get as woke as possible. Guys, I can tell you I've had a vasectomy now for, I think, 11 or 12 years. It doesn't really turn people on necessarily. Whatever. Look, I'm woke, I guess. I went and got my vasectomy before any of you guys did. So, hey, girls, I'm right here if you need some of this. Play me a TikTok, please.
How does the American flag make you feel now? I asked this question because on July 4th, me and my family were celebrating and shooting off fireworks, and a Jeep was coming down the street, so we had to get out of the street. And as the Jeep went by, it had 2 American flags flying high. And in the South, that typically means Trumplicans and Trump supporters and all that wonderful shit. But I looked at my neighbor and I asked her if she got a knot in her stomach when she saw the flag now. And she said, yes, she did. And I just attribute that to the insurrection. I attribute that to all the Proud Boy and white supremacist waving the flag high and just the Trump tards. And so I feel this way. I really do.
I got a solution for you, lady. National divorce, okay? Those of us who align with that flag, us crazy, wild-eyed insurrectionists, red hat-wearing MAGA people, well, let's just have our own country. Well, let's just have a divorce. You know, your parents did it. That's probably why you're so fucked in the head. So let's do this. Let's just have a national divorce. We'll go our way. We want to save babies. We want to believe in small government. We want to limit the ability of bureaucrats to reach into our pockets. We want to lower our taxes, own our homes and our property. We want to be able to go out and make a living without you bunch of Riris MP3s screaming at us about every single thing that pisses you off because your weird woke ideologies don't fit in the real world and common sense is alive again. You guys go off to your California and your New York safe spaces and you do your own damn thing and fix your own freaking knots in your stomach, okay? Because in the meantime, I'm going to keep on being just as redneck as I damn well want to be, drive my Jeep with all my American flags all over it. I'll get one tattooed on the tip of my pecker if I know it pisses you off, so that whenever I go in to get my vasectomy reversed so I can keep reproducing little bitty patriots, that son of a bitch will stand at attention and give all of you some extra knots. How about that? Hey, you know what's never good? When your nation's supposed authority on economic policy completely misses the flashing red lights of impending inflation. Now, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has finally admitted, quote, there have been unanticipated and large shocks to the economy that have boosted energy and food prices and supply bottlenecks that affected our economy badly that I didn't at the time fully understand, end quote. You know who understood the real threat of inflation? People who invested in gold and silver with Birch Gold Group. They're protecting their savings from a highly turbulent economy by diversifying their 401k or IRA into gold, physical gold. And folks, it's not too late for you to take action now. Text CHAD, I spell it Chad, to 989898. Get a free info kit on diversifying and protecting your savings with precious metals. An A+ rating with a Better Business Bureau, countless 5-star reviews, thousands of satisfied customers. Text Chad to 989898. Get real help from Birch Gold today. Again, text Chad to 989898 to claim your free, no obligation info kit on protecting your savings with gold. We'll be right back. The most important thing that happens on the 4th of July every year is the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. The dude that won the thing, he's won like 15 or 16. What's his name? Chestnut, Joey Chestnut. Everybody's screaming, Joey. And, of course, then the Darth Vader tries to come up there and put his little whatever sign out there. And Joey headlocks the guy, throws him out of the way, and goes back to eating hot dogs. Ate 64 of them this time. I think he's had a record like 75 or 76. But even with beating the shit out of a dude, he still ate all the hot dogs and won. Impressive stuff. My favorite part is when the girls start shoving wieners in their mouth. That's a whole other story. Folks, I'm going to be at the Majestic Saturday night, Fort Smith, Arkansas. We're rolling in on the tour bus. If you're in Arkansas or eastern Oklahoma, go to watchchad.com for all the fun stuff is and come check us out. Then next week, going to be down at Jackie's Brick House, Kemah, Texas, Schrader Hall, Goliad, Texas. Then we're headed up to Cactus Theater for a couple of shows in Lubbock, Concan, Texas, San Angelo, Texas, Spring, Texas, Granbury, Texas, Waco, Texas. We're bouncing around Texas. Then some more stuff's coming up. Going to be in Washington State. Going to be in South Carolina. Going to be back in Florida. Going to be in North Carolina. Everywhere. And we're adding more cities every single week. So come see me. WatchChad.com. Don't forget, subscribe to Blaze. BlazeTV.com/Chad. Use Chad as a promo code to save. We will see you tomorrow. We love you. God bless you. Bye.